Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the We Were Penn State York podcast. My name is Darien Reimold. I'm your host today, and today I'm bringing on...
Caovinh Nguyen. I'm a freshman coming as a sophomore at Penn State York.
Great to have you on, Caovinh. So Caovinh is a good friend of mine. We've been in a couple of classes together, and I think he really brings a unique perspective to this campus, especially as we're both coming out of our freshman year. We only have one more year left here. So, Caovinh, my first question for you today is, what have you thought about your freshman year at Penn State York? How's it been for you?
I'm still processing my freshman year. I did a lot of good things, but then a lot of bad things. I know that's very vague, but I feel like I had a very well-balanced freshman year. Not only did I succeed in academics and also in clubs, I was able, specifically for FBOA, I was able to go to the State Leadership Conference. I was able to place, and now going with Darien to the National Leadership Conference. So really fun. And then also besides FBOA, being part of SGA, being able to every month we go to CCSG, Commonwealth Council, Commonwealth Student Governments up at a university park just to discuss our issues and be able to share insights and have a voice up there with some of the higher ups at Penn State. Which is really amazing. Yeah.
And for anybody that doesn't know, FBLA stands for Future Business Leaders of America. It's a high school and collegiate organization that helps students compete at the state and national levels. You learn business, a lot of business type of stuff, how to stay professional, how to be basically your best self in a business world. What did you accomplish in FBLA at the state conference?
Like I said, I was able to place, but my event was parliamentary procedure. Okay. So I placed there, which allowed me to qualify for NLC. Besides competing, I would say that they had a lot of networking opportunities, especially they had like an alumni mixer. They had another event. I forgot what it was called, but it was also with other FBOA members that one night. It was really good. I was able to actually connect with someone who's actually pursuing the internship program that I'm trying to go for as a junior, senior. It's for upperclassmen. Mm-hmm. So I was able to connect with, Fernando.
Fernando, yeah. Who was he to the conference?
He was the state, I believe he was correct me if I'm wrong, he was the treasurer for the state.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
He was the one that gave that really good speech at the end because he was a senior, he was going to graduate. Mm-hmm. So really, I'm not kidding. Right after that, I was able to talk with him and connect with him, get his LinkedIn and look at his profile. I thought all officers like him were doing some kind of either STEM or business, so I didn't really talk to him except him. But I realized that he was going into humanities, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I was able to connect with him. I think that's the highlight from it. You can really learn a lot from it.
That's awesome. I mean, competing is one thing, and being able to say, I did this, I placed this, that's great in itself, but being able to make those specific connections, I think you're right in saying that is the highlight. And I unfortunately did not make any kind of those connections at the conference, but I completely agree. I placed first in the business presentation category at the conference, and I'm happy to say that I'm going along with Caovinh to Las Vegas in June of 2026, and it's so fun that we get to do this. And Penn State York, I think, has really allowed us to have this opportunity, because you look at other schools and you say, well, they're not going because they don't have the same opportunities that we have. And I think that's one of the iniquities of what Penn State York has for us. And if you want to tell them how great our school did, how many awards did we win at this year's conference?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot. I think, I'm trying to remember what Kelsey did for their presentation a few weeks ago, but I believe they came with 42. We came with 42 state awards, which is actually the highest we ever gotten for the past history of the FBOA chapter here at Penn State York, which is really amazing because we only brought about 25 members. So that means a lot of our members either got placed in two of their events and are able to come with us. So that's really amazing. I think of all the universities and colleges that we competed against at the SLC, we were the one that came with the highest amount of awards.
I think so too. Yeah, it definitely seemed, and we had If you would have seen us at the actual conference, it didn't matter if you got fourth, third, second, or first. The energy for every single person when they called a Penn State Yorker was the exact same, because we were just so proud of everybody that placed. We were so proud of the effort that they put in, not only during the conference, but beforehand too. Our advisor, Professor Lorenz, she's a stickler for good presentations, for effort, to make sure that you are actually putting in the work to earn your place there. I think that's one of the best things about our chapter is her making sure that each and every one of our members has not only a memorable experience, but an experience that they can be proud to say that they did.
Yeah, I would say you're right on that. I mean, FBOA is one of those like big clubs at Penn State York, and considering that we don't have that many clubs, and that FBOA is just kind of like a one family that once you join, you become a consistent and active within the club.
Mm-hmm.
It's really like being part of a family.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Being part of family is something I see in our larger campus as well. You talked about SGA. What are some of the highlights? I know you've talked about FBLA and SGA, but what are some of the highlights that you've had on campus this last year? What are like some of your favorite memories that you've made so far?
I would say making a lot of friends, especially with those who are interested in sports. Like we play like casual pickup basketball. We go to the gym. We play football, wiffle ball. So yeah. And besides like just making friends, like in terms of academics, like that's where a lot of my highlights are. Just because that's who I am. I consider myself as high achieving.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I'm gonna start from the spring to the fall. So recently, I think a few weeks ago, me and a group of students who are majoring in something STEM, specifically biology, like the sciences.
Yeah.
So we went up to the Eastern Research Fair at Penn State Abington. I forgot the full title of it, but we brought like, I believe, including me, about 9 people, and it was 3 people. It was me, Joe, and
Joseph Mountain.
Joseph Mountain and his brother. Yeah, we came with awards bag, and I feel that was a highlight because I wasn't able, like here at Penn State York at the research fair, I wasn't able to like be recognized or get an award.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like a bit disappointed because of all of my work and I submitted it for award was for nothing. That's what I felt like. But then going to the Eastern Fair, competing against other Penn State campuses on the eastern side of Pennsylvania, let me give some context. I was not able to find like freshmen or sophomores there. All of them, like practically, virtually all of them were upperclassmen. So I felt like it was like a daunting task, like to come with a word, like to perform well.
Yeah.
To like give like a great speech and then show like the highlights of my research to these other professors from these campuses, and I was able to fortunately secure to be placed.
Wow. And what place did you get?
In the humanity session, I got 3rd.
Nice, very nice. And what was I know when we had the research fair here at Penn State York, you had 2 different posters that you were presenting on. What were your 2 topics that you researched?
They're both really similar. So for the spring, it was for Dr. Jaguar's class for History 444W. It's an upper level seminar class.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Civil War and Reconstruction Era, but basically within the research, anybody can research anything as long as within the scope of that era.
Okay.
So I just decided to focus on architecture and how it influenced in the Reconstruction era on York County, like what kind of styles emerged, what buildings still remain. For the fall, it's on architecture again, very similar. But I did it for an honors project for Dr. Price and his Western Civilization class.
Okay.
It was on how Christianity influenced architecture, specifically on sculptures and Gothic cathedrals. I know it's like very niche, but it's something that I was very passionate and interested about growing up in high school, just because I was fascinated by going to Washington, D.C., going to the National Cathedral, and being able to, like, one day, like in college, if I was given the opportunity wherever I go, I would want to do research and have like a mentor to do that. And that was a dream come true.
That's awesome. You seem to really love architecture. I mean,
Yeah.
Um,
It's a thing about buildings, you know.
oh my God.
Yeah.
The building in front of me, it's so beautiful. It has 4 walls.
I would say this, like here in York County, like I know like Penn State York is like besides like your college, we're like the only ones that are centers for like education beyond like high school.
Mhm.
But I feel like a lot of like the research here at Penn State York, don't get me wrong, but it focuses like a lot on like the sciences and some like humanities, but it's mostly on like either like wars, battles, but I never was able to find anybody that did on buildings here like at downtown York. There's a lot of old buildings that we always walk or drive by.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
it's like a mix. Like you get some from like the 1700s, 1800s, even 1900s. So that's why like if you ever like did any research like in downtown York, there are things called historic districts that are set up just to recognize that these buildings are historically and culturally significant to York County.
Wow. So you really did carve your niche into that history.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you remember? I think it was last month. You gave me your camera. Like you had me allowed for like a few hours. Just I was literally going down to downtown. You're driving and then walking just to take pictures, just for my research poster that I did in the spring.
That's awesome. And you're right. A lot of the research here is focused on the biological and like chemistry sciences. The sciences are the biggest thing. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. I think
Oh, no.
I think it's great, and I think Penn State York is again unique in that some of that aspect because we allow research at such a early level. Like you were saying, when you went to the Abington conference, you said that mostly all of them were upperclassmen, juniors, and seniors. And when I think of like college, that's when I think, okay, that your junior year and your senior year are the years that you're really getting into the subject that you actually wanted to do. And your freshman and your sophomore year, you're just kind of doing your gen eds and everything. But here, I think you really actually get to experience what I think of as your junior and senior year in those early years. Like you get to do what you did and have that research. And I saw a couple other freshmen at Penn State York when we did our own research fair, that there were a couple other freshmen and sophomores that were presenting on their research, and I was really impressed with what they had.
Yeah, I think I was the only freshman like when I went along with the group of students. Like they were all like juniors and seniors, and Dr. Jagger, fortunately, she selected me to present. I was like, I'm only a freshman and I don't know what to expect because this is my like first like big research fair that I'm going to. So yeah, I feel like even like last year, like going through like college applications, like I was thinking of like which universities would give me the best opportunities for research like early on.
Yeah.
So I was looking at like Penn State York, like kind of ironically, Penn State York was at the bottom just because it was it's a Commonwealth campus, and I felt like, and I wanted to apply to their Schwartz Honors College, and I missed their deadline. Like I didn't do enough preparation because of senior shenanigans. So I was like, it's either between your college and Marysville, and I was like, don't get me wrong, but they had a lot of research opportunities that I applied to. Like I know for your college, I applied to a lot of the honors program, but just because of like other factors like the financials, I wasn't able to go there.
Yeah.
So I decided to fall back on Penn State York, and I thought that at the beginning of the fall semester, I felt like I can't just wait to get out of Penn State York and do the 2+2 and go up to University Park just to actually have actual opportunities. I felt like here wouldn't be anything like that great.
Yeah.
But I was proven wrong early on because as soon as I met like Dr. Price, he was my professor in those classes, he was also my advisor. He was able to show me that Penn State York is so much more than a surface level and actually has a lot of opportunities. And not in terms of like just research and academics, but also for like internships. Like there's a lot of programs you can do here, like the Grams program.
Yep.
And the honors program, which helps you to prepare either to apply to the Schwartz Honors College or you just want to do like more work for a regular course. Like you and me, we're both in the honors program and
Yes, we are.
in a Grams program, like both of them. So if you want to talk about the Grams program first.
Yeah. Before I mentioned that, would you say that you were proven wrong about your misconceptions of Penn State York, and do you regret coming here?
Okay, so my misconceptions were like proven really wrong. Like I mentioned it before. Like early on in my fall semester, I was able to. I thought like I wouldn't make like a lot of friends. I thought I was gonna be one of those students that just going back from classes to home, but I didn't want to do that. I even before club fair, I wanted to take an initiative to join EPUA first because that's one of the clubs I did in high school, and I recognized that they did had a chapter here, and I saw that they had a lot of like awards coming from there. So I was like, okay, I want to be like this type of student. But then as well, like there are like a lot of things to do on campus that they're optional. Like don't get me wrong, but like I wanted to do like anything and everything just to get my name out there. So I would say overall at the end, I don't regret coming to Penn State York because I feel like if I went to like a bigger college like York College or Millersville, I feel like I wouldn't be creating like this personal brand or my name out there in terms of like who I am as a student, but not only as a student, but who I am as a person.
That's a great point. I mean, yeah, because we are smaller than those other schools, you really get that more personal feeling with every single person that you meet on this campus. And like you walk in a room, you've met the person once, you walk in the room, boom, they know you like that. Here, I feel like you can really make a name for yourself. Like you said, really quickly, your actions stand out really well. You had mentioned the Graham Fellowship. I think I haven't been able to talk about that before. This is a great opportunity here on our campus. And again, one of those unique things about our campus. If you haven't gotten it before, our campus is very unique. The Graham Fellowship is a semi-business fellowship made by Donald Graham in his name. The Graham Fellowship is for students seeking professional skills. People attend different speaking series with business industries, business leaders, other Graham Fellows that have already graduated. I mean, they make this whole network for people, and you have to do some certain classes and you have to do some certain requirements. But in the end, you feel like a more well-rounded business person. Like this year, Caovin and I did business etiquette dinner.
Yeah.
Where we had that was a 4-course meal.
Yeah, and that was in the fall at the Country Club of York, and then that was like a requirement of the program. Yeah, we also did like an emotional training session, which was also a requirement in the winter, where we met up with someone up there that was a professional, and we were able to like assess ourselves, like taking like a survey to assess where we need to improve, like which areas of like when like either communicating, planning, balancing, just so we can maximize the person that we can become, not just for ourselves, but for other people.
That's pretty. Yeah, I mean, you're dead on. I think, from my personal experience with this, and you can tell yours then, I think the Graham Fellowship has really been a great opportunity for me. I have loved everything about it. I love the free food that they give us all the time, by the way. I love eating. And they always buy good Jersey Mike subs, so that's a pretty big plus if you go to any of their events. I've made a lot of connections through them. Like out of anything on campus, honestly, I've got to say that they are the ones that I've gotten the most singular connections, going from person to person to person. They host so many events. They always have speaker series going on, and I've really gotten a lot of great opportunities from both Beth Brennan and Alan Lehman. They are the two people that run the Graham Fellowship. They are awesome people. How would you say your experience has been with the fellowship?
I would say mine is similar to yours. Like besides like a lot of like networking and like the free food, obviously, which saves on like some of the costs as a college student. And getting, I would say like these events, like these speaker series, actually show me what Penn State can truly provide.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially here at Penn State York, we have a alumni chapter, and it's a very big one because not only do they collaborate with the Grahams program and some of the other parts of Penn State York here, I would say that even the program, like it's not like hard to like apply for. Like you just had to send in like an essay and go through like 2 rounds of interviews, but then that's pretty much it. All you have to do is like sacrifice your time, and like you need to take some classes in order to be considered a Grahams fellow, which I'm taking economics 104 in the fall, and that knocks that part of the component.
Yeah,
but like you get to meet a mix of old and new. Like old is as in like people you have met in high school, like just going to a local like campus here, and then you also meet like industry professionals and recent graduates. So you get to talk with them. Like even like some of the people who are part of Grams program are also part of other clubs like FBOA. Like a lot like like I wouldn't say a lot, but a few of the events throughout this year, that the Grams program they collaborate with the FBOA, and we're both part of it. So like that's kind of like killing two birds with one stone. Like where like if you attend this FBOA event, that's kind of mandatory or either optional, but then being part of Grand Sport is considered part of speaker series.
Yeah.
You can knock that out. So I feel like for me, at least, I don't know about you, but I completed enough speaker series where I don't have to attend another one for the next 3 years if the program continues. But even like there's a requirement for it for these speaker series. I'm gonna go like way beyond that, just
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
more experience.
And they do provide a lot. And what you said about the collaboration between FBLA and the Graham Fellowship, I was going to bring that up. It seems like the Graham Fellowship is kind of this connector piece between a whole bunch of different things. Like you said, FBLA, they do a lot of events together. They do a lot of events in the same building too. The honors program, when I did a short documentary on smallpox in the fall semester of 2025. And it was a 22-minute documentary, and I had a showing at the in the Graham Center, and it was a kind of collaboration between the honors program and the Graham Fellowship. That way, the people that attended it could get Graham Speaker Series credit, but I was also able to present my honors project and something that I was pretty proud of making. There are so many people that not only the Graham Center brings in, but also all the other clubs. They bring in so many cool people to connect with, and they really do an awesome job at that.
I would say on top of that, the Grams program is like really for everyone. Like for you, you're what major are you?
I'm a film production major.
Yeah, so you're a film production major. I'm doing a double major in history and political science. So I'm in humanities, and like a lot of people like that are not part of programs think that Grams program is only for people who are doing like STEM or business.
Yeah.
But it's not really that. It's basically for everyone because that program helps you to develop into a leader in whatever field you're doing, not just in business.
Yeah.
And the speakers that they bring in, they're not all of them are business. Like I was able to find some of them, especially during that Zoom meeting with the alumni mixer. I actually found some people who were in humanities. There was even a lady, I forgot her name. She was doing like a master's in anthropology.
Oh wow.
But before that, she was doing something similar to what I'm doing. Like she wanted to go to museum studies, which is one of the pathways I wanted to go into. So that was really amazing. I was able to connect with her and able to like connect with other people as well beyond that event.
That's pretty cool. That's again the networking, the people are what really make that program. All right, and moving on from the Graham Fellowship into the last point that I want to talk about with you, Caovin, is what are you most looking forward to this last year? And kind of in that same vein, what are you kind of sad about? I mean, it's going to be the last year of Penn State York that's coming up. And kind of what are you feeling both positively and upset about it?
So after this summer, I'm looking forward to like continuing doing well, like just like not repeat of like freshman year, but just building up towards like a resume to apply to our Schwartz Honors College. But on top of that, I also want to apply for dorm housing and like other things that I gotta do like before I go up to University Park at the end of the spring of 2027. But what I'm most sad about is that like as I repeat it and emphasize, like coming here, I wasn't expecting a lot of great things, but then I realized like I want to continue doing great things here, but this is like the last year, so like, and there's like declining enrollment, so not a lot of students, but then there's not a lot of whole faculty too. Like some are either moving to different campuses already, or they're working somewhere else, and a big part of that, like personally, how I feel is like it's like losing, like every time like someone leaves the campus, every time the opportunity is not there anymore as it usually would be presented, it's like losing a bit of Penn State York because a lot of like even over the decades, here there was a lot of effort, people, and work that was poured into Penn State York. Even that when I go up to University Park and then in another 2 years I graduate, I'll still remember where I even started, because none of this like success, none of what this like what I accomplished and what I became as a person from like high school. Like I felt like from high school I'll be like still like immature, and I feel like I'll like not succeed at a college level just because I just breezed by drew like a lot of the things I did in high school. But it's like you don't forget like the beginnings, and but then you also don't forget like the progress that you made. So here at Penn State York, without it I wouldn't be the person that I am today.
Wow, that's a pretty powerful message.
Yeah, what about you?
My original plan was to go to University Park after the 2 years. Like I was going to start here, and I was going to do my 2 years here, and then do 2 years at Penn State, Maine. I'm really sad. Like I'm actually like upset about it. And the more and more I talk about to people about it, everybody pretty much says the same. Even if it's not affecting them, like the juniors and seniors, they're gonna be able to graduate. But even they say, yeah, it's really sad that their campus is closing. And one person said it's sad like people bring their kids back to the campus that they went to, and that they're not going to be able to do that because this place isn't going to exist. And that is heartbreaking to hear. Like that you want to have this kind of legacy in this place that maybe hold on to a little bit, and it holds on to a little bit of you. And like I would have brought my kids back here, and because it's just such a great place. If I could stay all 4 years here, I would have. It's close to home. The people here I think they like me.
I hope so.
Yeah, well, yeah, I hope so too. It's just kind of a great place to be here. It's kind of like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Like it's a really good place. Everybody's so friendly. I'm looking forward to getting back into the swing of things, albeit with less students. But I kind of have this flittering thought that this is going to be like a big year, because everybody's going to be like, this is the last one. I don't think they're going to be depressed. People are going to be depressed about it no matter what, but they're kind of going to want to make it their all, give it all you got before it ends. And I kind of have a thought that that's what's going to happen, and that people are going to use that hope and just say, okay, we're going to make it the best year we possibly can. And I'm looking forward to that. And then, when April rolls around this coming year, I'm going to be sad. April of 2027 is going to be a really sad time. But hopefully my documentary that I'm making will be done at that point. And even though it's going to be sad, we're going to be happy that we had the memories here. We're going to be able to see what all Penn State York has done for us in the end.
Just to continue what you said, you're doing like a lot of great work there. And not only you meant just like seconds ago you mentioned documentary, you're doing like this podcast club. Like a lot like I feel like even at SGA, I asked like other like presidents and vice presidents, like even like the people who attend like CCSG, like other campuses that are closing, they not a single one of them knows somebody, or at least know like faculty that don't know somebody that's doing like what the work you're doing. The work you're doing just to keep Penn State York history intact and preserved is basically why I would 100% fully support you, because that's like literally what I'm doing like in my field, like preserving like history. Like this Penn State York history is part of York County's history.
Absolutely.
It's like really like I'm not trying to get emotional, but it's like I know like any other Commonwealth campus would say this about themselves, but here at Penn State York, it's not only just like a environment for like learning, like academic learning, but it's also a place where you can just make friendships, relationships. Even there was like a Instagram post where like a couple, they actually went to like 2+2, like they did 2 years here and then went up to University Park, and then when they became engaged and married, they came back here to celebrate where they actually had met. So
wow, I don't think I saw that.
Yeah, I think I'm not saying this with 100% accuracy. I saw this post like in the winter or in the fall, so I was like, that's really amazing because like a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people that go here and transfer, they wouldn't even like think of coming back here just to visit like the memories they made. But there's a lot of people there. Like I wouldn't say like in the hundreds. I would say like there are thousands over the decades who have visited here.
It's a lasting impact this campus has on people. This campus is doing a lot of great for people, and the impact that it's going to have. You just mentioned that it has on a lot of people. I think it's going to have on us. So with that, always remember, we are
Penn State York.
Thank you, Caovin.
You're welcome.